Welcome back for the exciting conclusion of the 2025 Santa Cruz Masters Cup back nine coverage from Top World Disc Golf. Here's your scores after 9 holes. Gannon Buhr in the lead at -15, and Niklas, Luke, and Cole hot on his tail. Here's your scores after 9 holes in our top 10 for the event.
Look at Andrew Marweed there, 7 under par, which through the first 2 rounds is still the course record. Or layout record, I should say. Niklas and Gannon have been going back and forth all round, swapping the lead. Cole close on their tail, Luke not far behind. Players are all shooting hot on this extremely tough layout. We only saw a single bogey from anyone on our card on the front 9, despite there being several kind of tweener par 3, par 4s on this layout. Speaking of which, here's another one.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Tournament hole 10, 363 feet. If you're going up the gut, you got to miss these scraggly oak trees. You got to possibly throw a power driver or distance driver in order to get the distance required and potentially skip off the hard pan for a birdie look.
Yep, this is another tough one. Like I said, average 3.46, almost half a stroke over par, but with a perfect shot, it is birdieable.
Up first, Luke Taylor with his Z Nuke.
Luke going over the top. You got to have a lot of power to take that line. And just short left, it looks like.
Cole lining up the gut route with his hyper cane.
Oh no. That's rough. It'll be tough to save the par from there.
Yeah, definitely. And Gannon with his lime green S-Line DD3. Narrowly misses the same tree as Cole.
Yeah, we saw Gannon, I think, go over the top in round 1 and then take the up the middle route in round 2, which I guess he liked better because he tried it again here in round 3.
Yeah, it does just seem like the more consistent play if you miss those early trees.
Yeah, definitely easier to get the birdie going up the middle, but of course, if you do square up one of those trees, then it's tough to save the par. Niklas, I love this line. Ooh, barely misses that tree. Gets some ground play, and he's at edge of the circle. That is a great drive on this challenging pin. Not a bad attempt from Cole, but that's going to be tough to hit the par save from over there. We'll see what he's left with.
Gannon for birdie.
Had the height, just left. Might be a tricky little par putt coming back. Yeah, Cole does not save that par. He's going to be looking at a bogey. And here is Luke Taylor for birdie.
What is that?
Oh, no.
Not a great attempt.
Yeah, something went wrong there with his grip or something. But here's Niklas for birdie. And he's good for it right in the heart. Beautiful birdie, Niklas, on this very challenging hole. There were only 8 birdies on the day on this hole. This is one that the field kind of figured out a little bit over the course of the event. On day 1, we only had 3 birdies. Day 2, 5 birdies. And day 3, 8 birdies. So the field just got gradually better. And another note is that Andrew Marweed was the only player to get this hole 2 times.
Some cool stats there. And also important to note that Niklas has now tied it up with Gannon again.
Yeah, what a hole to do it on.
He'll take the box headed into tournament hole 11 then. 428-foot par 3. Gotta give it some height, keep it up over these oak trees. It's kind of a backhand flex shot or something that has good turn out of your hand, and then you want it to land gently on this putting green, as we have seen a few discs go long and kick into that mess on the left side.
Another tough one, Keenan. This one averaging 3.4.
This looks like the right line. Maybe just didn't have the stability at the end of the flight.
Yeah.
Luke going ESP force. I think he needed to force that one over a little bit more.
Yeah, that was a little bit too far left. Hopefully that didn't fade too far down that hill.
This seems like a hole that Gannon has kind of been dialing in all weekend as well, figuring out the unique line required. Good height.
That just needs to fade. And it's fading. Oh, Gannon going long.
Wow.
Good looking flight. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's probably 40 feet, maybe a little less. That was a great shot.
So low again.
Lower line from Cole, but I like this if it can get a little bit of fade. Oh, I guess it clipped some of those trees. Oh, yeah.
Just a tiny bit too low, but right line.
Here he is chipping up for the par. No problem. Luke pitching up. Yeah, he's going to be left with a just outside the circle putt to save the par there. He was kind of pinched off.
Yeah, leaving a little meat on the bone.
Oh, Niklas, what a bid. Sit down. Okay. Great attempt.
Now Gannon has a chance to take back the lead.
Oops. That was weird. And unlike the previous hole where the field kind of seemed to get better at it over the course of the event, there were less birdies on this hole today than there were on days 1 or 2. Let's see if Luke can save the par here. Beautiful par putt. Scary putt, man. If he airballs that, that's going way down that hill. But yeah, on this hole, day 1, 7 birdies. Day 2, 11 birdies. And day 3, only 4 birdies.
Interesting.
The 4 birdies today: Jeffrey McCormick, Ezra Robinson, Aviel Gomez, who we've seen on Top World, and Mike Sale, who we've also seen on Top World a bunch of times. So shout out to you guys. Great birdies. Meanwhile, our lead card all look like they're going to be taking pars here with that great par save from Luke. Well, Cole has a little meat left on the bone here.
Yeah, Luke is still very much in this, only 2-stroke back of our leaders.
Yeah, definitely.
And on to the hole known as Gravity, tournament hole 12, 225 feet. Little shorty, but we've seen it does have a ton of rollaway potential. You can get DeLaveaga here. The most consistent play for the birdie is maybe a putt and approach disc to the left side of that V tree to land it most gently on the hillside, because if you're on the right side, there's a chance of hitting the bricks or hitting the hillside and getting up and roll.
Yeah, but the rollaway potential, although significant, is the only real challenge about this hole. It is the easiest hole on the course at 2.47, more than half a stroke under par. Oh, interesting choice here from Luke. A little tomahawk with a putter. Didn't work out.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that play. All my years playing DeLaveaga, I've not really seen that work out, but must have worked out for him in practice to try that line. Gannon with the jump putt, that's been working.
Yeah, that one definitely worked out. And here's Cole going for the traditional line, just a gentle putter hyzer to the left of the V tree, get a little anti-skip. That's how to play it. Well done. Yeah, I'm pretty confused by Luke's choice of drive. I would have loved... Ooh, good bid for the birdie, though. And it doesn't roll. Good. I would have liked to see Luke's drive in prior rounds just to see it work out, just to see what he was intending to do.
Solid putt by Niklas to keep pace with Gannon, who's pretty much parked.
Yeah, neither of them are letting the other run away with this. I love it. Luke now, of course, is going to fall one more stroke behind, so he's going to need to start birdieing a lot of holes if he wants a chance. Three birdies, one par. On to hole 13.
Let's do it. Tournament hole 13, 276 feet. A lot of our players on our lead card have been taking the over the top of this oak tree, but there is also the flight that the drone flew there. Maybe a mid-range or putter that you get up over the top and don't go long because there is that danger of going off the backside into that abyss.
Oh my gosh.
Nice high stalling shot from Niklas. That does seem to be the ideal play on this hole. And it looks like it sat down. Good drive. I guess the alternative play is the forehand spike hyzer, as we'll see from Gannon here.
Yeah, haven't really seen it work out the first two rounds. Looked like it was going long and then it hits that giant oak tree.
There's the Anheuser backhand from Cole. Uh-oh. Yeah, sailed it a bit long. That looks like it might be tricky back in there.
Yeah, not where you want to be on this hole.
Oh, Luke. Decent reaction off the tree, but that was a very strange release. I wonder if he was aiming that low on purpose, but just kind of grip locked a little. Obviously went to the right of where he intended, but gotta think he's just laying up for par from here. Nicely done.
So Cole is down here in this abyss somewhere.
Oh my gosh, what? I was not expecting that one, Keenan. What a putt from Cole Redalen.
Insane. 48-foot putt out of nowhere, out of Narnia.
I wonder if he could even see the basket from down there. Gannon stretching out. Great birdie, man. That is a scary death putt right there. Putting the pressure on Niklas.
Ties it back up.
Yep, both of them getting the birdie on that one. On the last two, just keeping pace with each other. Luke here, falling another stroke behind them, unfortunately, though, so this is really turning into a two-horse race at this point. Good par save from Luke, nonetheless.
Exciting stuff. Still knotted up at the top. Couple holes left to play onto hole 14, tournament hole 14, that is. 324-foot par 3. You got the OB road on the left side, this down tree with the huge root ball that presents another obstacle, and then these other pine trees in the fairway to avoid late. Most players can get there with a mid-range or fairway driver.
Yeah, pretty stock backhand mid-range shot here.
Niklas with his Color Glow MD3.
Oh, just clips that root ball.
Doors open for Gannon.
Yep.
Oh.
So close. Weird. Uncharacteristic mistakes from both of our leaders here on this hole.
Cole Redalen with his DGA Quake.
Now this is more of the line you're looking for. Great shot.
And looking on is Tom Schott, DeLaveaga Course designer, while Luke throws his Z drone.
Luke getting just over the top of that root ball. But yeah, you really want to be a little wider than that, as Cole showed us. Interesting that 3 of the 4 players kind of were too inside.
Niklas still with a chance for birdie.
Hey, gave it a bid, stayed close. What more can you want? Man, I love Luke's putt. And that was a little bit low the whole way, but it kind of maintains its height in a way that almost no other putt does. Maybe like a Simon Lizotte style putt does that as well, but not a lot of players have that.
A miss from Gannon.
Well, Cole getting a stroke on the card here.
Yeah, and with that birdie, Cole also ties it up with Luke, so they're kind of battling for third place at this point.
Yeah, 2 separate battles going on here. Good comebacker from Luke there.
All right, that's going to do it for hole 14. Couple pars, 1 birdie, and our leaders are still tied at -17. Long walk to this next hole, but very exciting that they're all tied up. We're going to find out who's the king of the hill and who will be crowned Masters Cup champion. On to tournament hole 15. Very difficult par 3, 399 feet, but plays closer to 450 with this extreme uphill late. Most players want to get past the normal Masters Cup location where the bricks are to give yourself an extreme uphill putt at this basket. We have seen a birdie in round 2, so let's see if we can get a couple more here.
Yeah, one of the hardest holes on the course. Actually only averaged 3.32, but one of the hardest holes to birdie on the course for sure. On day 1, we had 3 birdies in total. Day 2, only 2 birdies in total.
Niklas with his S-Line DD3. He's got a chance. Putting the pressure on.
I wonder if Niklas is going to have flashbacks to last year's World Championships looking at that putt up that steep hill. Hopefully not. Not the thing he wants to be thinking about. Gannon clips some branches, and he's almost certainly going to be laying up for par from there.
Luke with a huge run up. Going big.
Man, he keeps it so low, but still generates so much power. Cuts the corner, skips it up in the circle, and it sits. Wow. I'm pretty sure the birdie we saw on lead card in a prior round was an outside the circle putt. That is a phenomenal drive from Luke.
Gannon's just going to concede the par, so Niklas with an opportunity.
Yep. I can't really fault him for that. The rollaway risk of running that putt if you don't make it is so high. Cole with a tricky lie here. Gets out nicely. He's going to save the par. And here's Luke. 20 feet for the birdie. What an impressive drive. Oh, almost lost his balance, but he maintained it, and he gets the birdie. That is super impressive. Like I was saying, only 3 birdies on day 1, 2 birdies on day 2, only 2 birdies today. So 7 birdies in total for the 3-round event with 141 MPO players. Today, the 2 people to get it were Luke Taylor and Ezra Robinson, and Luke Taylor was the only player in the field to get it twice.
Wow. Great power out of him. And he's also taken a stroke on Cole and the rest of the card, so he's locked in at 3rd place right now, heading into hole 16, 276 feet. Also plays a lot longer because of the uphill of the fairway. You got to avoid this olive tree on the right side and these late trees. It's a little better to land on the left side because there's less rollaway potential because of the grade of the fairway. Luke with his ESP force.
Going for a wider left line. Looked like it was on purpose, but he just clipped some trees. Usually we see players go with a more inside line than that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that line, but it must have worked out again in practice.
Yeah, see, here's the line we're more used to seeing.
Yeah, this looks great out of Cole.
Great line. We did see Jacob Blair take the local route, kind of the high right Stolly line that worked out nicely as well. A couple of different ways to play this hole.
Missed the bush.
Good shot from Niklas. Ooh, early release from Gannon and a bad reaction off that tree. Might be a tricky par save from there. See what he's left with. It's also worth noting at this point that not only are Gannon and Niklas battling for the lead, but they are both bogey-free for the round so far as well.
Okay, he's going to be...
Oh, no. He got DeLaveaga.
It's going to be very hard to save a par from there. Looks like he kind of went out of order, though. Luke might have been further out, but Gannon's going to go for his 3rd shot first.
Oh, man. Pretty much no chance of saving the par from here. He's got work to do to even get up and down for the bogey. Easy upshot, I guess. But yeah, no chance of the par. So he's going to be taking his first bogey of the round. Niklas with a chance to take 2 strokes on him here. Luke laying up nicely. And here's Niklas. 4 birdie. And to take 2 strokes on Gannon with 2 to play. No way.
Uh-oh.
Our 2 leaders both get DeLaveaga on the same hole at the same time. And just like that, it's looking like a likely bogey for both of them. Yeah, Niklas is looking at an awkward little approach shot here.
Yeah, you got to think that he's kind of kicking himself for maybe just laying up and taking the par for a 1-stroke lead.
Yeah, hindsight is 20/20. Good birdie putt from Cole. But, from that distance for Niklas, I can't fault him for running it. There are more high-risk greens on the course than this. It was just kind of an unfortunate reaction off the basket for him.
Very true. And the next 2 holes aren't a guaranteed par or birdie either.
Yeah, 17 is one of the most difficult ones on the course. And Luke saves the par. So birdie from Cole, par from Luke, and bogey putts coming up for both Niklas and Gannon. What a turn of events. At least they're keeping it exciting for us viewers coming down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm on the edge of my seat.
But man, of all the really tough holes on this layout, this is not the one I would expect either of them to take their first bogey of the round on. Disc golf is unpredictable.
Yeah, 2 holes left to play. Like you said, one of the most difficult holes on the course. Hole 17 in the long position, 468 feet, sloping fairways on left and right. Kind of more of a bailout zone here on the right side short, or if you go a little bit long on the left side here. We haven't seen any birdies on our filmed coverage through the first 2 rounds. Let's see if these players can get it during this crucial moment.
Yep, this one averaged 3.44. It was the 4th most difficult hole today. In round 1, there were 2 birdies in total, and in round 2, there was only 1 birdie. So let's see who can get it today.
Nice shot from Cole with his DGA Hypercane. Wow. Almost makes it to the tee pad for top of the world.
Luke taking a deep breath. He's got the power for this shot for sure.
Little slip off the front of the tee pad.
And he's in that fallen tree there. Might be a tricky putt, but potentially makeable. Nice looking hyzer flip from Niklas, but it doesn't flip quite enough. And he's under that scraggly fallen tree as well. Gannon nice and low. Not quite enough turn. He's headed towards that same fallen tree. Wow, interesting. We've got 3 out of 4 players in there. But depending on the lie, there are sometimes looks from in here.
Niklas up first.
Tricky. Uh-oh. Cole. Oh, gosh, that is a steep hill. And here he is down in the abyss once again. Last time we saw him down in an abyss, he pulled out a miracle putt, though. Let's see if he can do it again. Nah, didn't really have a chance from there. That's going to be an unfortunate bogey for him there, but here is Gannon, and he stayed out of the scraggle branches, so he's got a look from about 40, 45 feet for the birdie. Yes, Gannon, let's go. What a birdie.
Clutch. Takes the lead over Niklas.
1-stroke lead with 1 to play, putting all the pressure on Niklas on top of the world.
Luke also with an opportunity to take 2 strokes on Cole.
Oh, just wide. At least he didn't go down the hill like Cole did, so he's looking at an easy par there. Here he is for that par. No problem. So it's going to be a par from Niklas as well. Bogey from Cole, assuming Niklas can make this. No problem. But yeah, like I was saying, 2 birdies on day 1, 1 birdie on day 2. We actually had 4 birdies today, more than any prior day. The 4 birdies today were Connor Rock, Gannon Buhr, Daniel Kitchens, and Matt Bell. There were 0 players in the tournament who got that hole twice, though.
Okay, so headed into the final hole. Gannon Buhr has a 1-stroke lead. Let's go to top of the world on Top World Disc Golf. Hole 18 for the tournament, 516 feet downhill, par 3, OB Road long. We've seen a few birdies on our tournament coverage this weekend. Let's see what happens. Gannon Buhr's got the box and has a chance to put the pressure on and close the door on Niklas.
That's right, Keenan. If Gannon parks this, it's effectively over. He could end it right here. And this hole's not that hard compared to a lot of the holes on this layout, averaging 3.12 with 20% of the field taking birdie. So it's definitely gettable. Gannon going for the high, wide hyzer. A little bit too wide. That's going to put him about 50, 55 feet. He's got a chance, but not too likely. So door still open for Niklas.
Luke can seal the deal on 3rd place with this shot.
Oh, sit down. And it's safe. Hey, look, it's Doug Odell. Green flag. Yeah, for our viewers, the posts you saw there are not the OB line. It's actually the pavement, so that's why that was inbounds. And Niklas.
Great line.
All the pressure's on. He needs the birdie.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Nice drive, Niklas. Well, looks like Gannon's going to have to run that long putt. Otherwise, we're looking at a likely playoff scenario.
Nickel. Sit down, though. Sit.
Yeah, a bit wide from Cole there, but he's just outside the circle with a chance for birdie. Similar distance to Luke's birdie putt from the other side, I think. But here's Gannon. That's closer to like 40 or 45. I think I said a longer distance before. I take that back.
Little step putt coming.
Yep, Gannon makes a lot of these putts, especially in clutch moments. Oh, weird. Perhaps a little bit in his head there.
You know he wanted to win it that way. Like you said, more than likely a playoff scenario coming.
Yep, and there we saw how close Luke was to going OB, but staying safe. And if he can make this, he guarantees solo second. And with that miss, he's going to give Cole Redalen a chance to... sorry, I said second. I meant third. Cole here has a chance to tie Luke for third place with this birdie putt. And an inch low. Looks like Luke will be taking solo third, Cole solo fourth. Gannon good for the par, and Niklas closer than that. Yeah, good par from Luke. Great tournament. Finishing 14 under par for the event. This is a putt you definitely don't want to rush to force the playoff with Gannon. Nicely done, Niklas. That's what we want to see.
What a battle. Did somebody say playoff?
Here we go.
So the tournament director has confirmed that the playoff layout is holes 1 through 3, 15 through 18, sudden death. Here's your scores after 18 holes for our lead card.
Gannon and Niklas tied there at the top. Luke and Cole below them. Here we see the top 10 through 18. You can see the rest of the people that are, of course, solidified in their finishing spots, with the exception of Gannon and Niklas. And like Keenan said, starting off the playoff here on hole 1.
Okay, here we go. Like you said earlier, we did not see any birdies on this hole all weekend. So more than likely pars coming for our two playoff contenders. 347-foot par 3. Let's watch and see how this plays out. They're going to flip for who goes first.
So, Calvin Heimberg will be Gannon Buhr. Anttila will be Niklas Anttila for who starts, okay?
And Niklas has a little mini or whatever it is with his own face on one side, Calvin on the other.
We've got Calvin Heimberg, so Gannon Buhr will start, and we're going to rotate each hole.
Gannon won the flip. He's going to go first.
All right, live on the tee, playoff.
Good height. Can it miss those trees? Oh, wow. Look at that ground play. What? He's in the circle.
Incredible drive.
I didn't know that was physically possible on this hole. Someone goes, let's go, Calvin. Because he was the Calvin side of the little coin that they flipped.
Clutch moment, clutch drive. A lot of pressure on Niklas to put this one close.
Missed that tree. Oh, just a little bit low. Man, this shot is so hard. I am just blown away by Gannon's drive.
So now Niklas will more than likely have to throw this upshot in.
Yeah, he's going to have to try. Gannon looking at maybe about a 20-footer for birdie. Of course, in a pressure situation, it's not guaranteed. So even if Niklas doesn't throw it in and puts it close, he'll put the pressure on. Oh, it clipped a little branch. Still, he's there for the par. Test Gannon's mental game right here. Although, to be honest, this might be less than 20 feet. Wow. Gannon Buhr. Dude, that is crazy. 0 birdies on this hole in rounds 1, 2, and 3, and then Gannon gets it in the
We
playoff.
have your 2025 Santa Cruz Masters Cup, hosted by Top World Disc Golf, sponsored by DGA, MPO champion Gannon Buhr.
Wow. What a moment.
And coming in second place, we have Niklas Anttila.
Great tournament from Niklas as well.
In third place, we've got Luke Taylor.
Luke Taylor in third. Yeah, it's got to hurt losing a playoff, of course, but to lose it in that fashion on that hole that no one was able to birdie all weekend, I mean, what can you do? Gannon had an inhuman moment.
Demonstrating why he's the current #1 player in the world.
And I got to say, I called in round 1 that we were more likely to see a birdie on hole 1 by the end of the tournament than hole 9. Gannon proved me right. Thanks, Gannon.
2-time Masters Cup champion, Gannon Buhr.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a fun watch, Keenan. Congrats once again to Gannon Buhr and Niklas Anttila for a hard-fought battle. Cole Redalen, Luke Taylor, both of the Robinson brothers, Jacob Blair for making lead card in round 2. Just everyone we've watched all weekend. Love this course. Love watching these players tackle it. Gannon just with some phenomenal play throughout the weekend, making one clutch putt after another. And in the end, hoisting the trophy after that one-hole playoff. Congratulations.
What an awesome final round. So here's your finalized top 10 with Gannon Buhr taking the top spot.
Impressive. Something else I want to note is that 7 under par was once again the hot round for today, as it was in days 1 and 2. So no one was able to beat that round score of 7 under par on this tough layout. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the 2025 Santa Cruz Masters Cup here on Top World Disc Golf. Be sure to like, subscribe, share this video, follow us on social media, and come back for more quality disc golf tournament coverage. Thanks again for joining us.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you at the next Top World event.